Antonio Dante left Spain in 1729 for South America to establish a business in Peru, in Lima. His wife, who remained at home, wrote a number of letters without receiving a reply. In great distress, she brought a letter with her to the church of St. Francis at Oviedo. There was a large statue of St. Anthony, who had one arm outstretched, and she placed the letter in his hand, praying, "St. Anthony, I pray thee, let this letter reach him and obtain for me a speedy reply." The next day she returned to the church, but she was heartbroken because the letter was still there in the saint's hand. She was weeping in frustration, and that caught the attention of the brother sacristan, who wanted to know her story. But then he told her actually that he had noticed the letter and tried to remove it, but he couldn't budge it, and asked if maybe she would try, which she did, and she was able to immediately. And what was her surprise when she found that it was a reply from her husband. It was dated July the 29th, 1729, and said this: "My dear wife, for some time I have been expecting a letter from you and been in great trouble at not hearing from you. At last your letter has come and given me joy. It was a father of the Order of St. Francis who brought it to me. You complained that I have left your letters unanswered. I assure you that when I received none, I believed you to be dead. So you may imagine my happiness at the arrival of your last one. I answer, by the same religious, and send you 300 golden crowns." And these actually dropped from the statue miraculously, "which will suffice you for your support until my approaching return. In the hope of soon being with you, I pray God for you, and I commend myself to my dear patron, St. Anthony." Of course, he bore his name, "and ardently desire that you may continue to send me tidings of yourself. Your most affectionate, Antonio Dante." So the original letter is still preserved at Oviedo. The coins dropped from the sleeve of the statue. It's obvious that St. Anthony is well able to take care of our material needs, and that also is our experience. When all else fails, turning to him produces amazing results. He is very much an active saint in heaven and takes interest in his own. The practice of blessing bread and giving it in his honor to the poor is still widespread, and the lilies represent his purity. I was touched by the fact that his gift of preaching was discovered accidentally when he preached at an ordination in the area of Forlì, and it became his hallmark. They called him the Hammer of Heretics, He lashed out against the Albigensian heresy, for instance, and was very powerful in also forming his order to correct theology. And he is now a doctor of the Church. St. Anthony was already called teacher, doctor by St. Francis, who quaintly used to call him his bishop, despite his young age. As a Protestant, I accidentally came across the story of the mule that Anthony had put to a fast, asking the non-believing Jew to prepare him and bring him to him in that state. And he did. And he was presented with a bag of meal, and he refused to take it. Whereas when St. Anthony approached with the Blessed Sacrament and commanded, "Dumb beast, adore your God," he adored, and that hit me. Maybe he's seeing and saying something that I don't know. Years later I found myself at that very spot. It was in 1996 in Rimini, and I prayed ardently to St. Anthony, and soon afterwards I was ordained. This is the place where happened the miracle that in adolescence made me think. It's at Rimini. There's a cross on the ground indicating. Dumb beast that taught the world without a word, the word to heed, therewith to bend the knee. 'Twas this thine inward thinking that I heard, this thy clear vision that I once did see, through gazing on a page, where in the age of reason ceased to be. For all was said, good mule, and altered more than any sage, in this thy strangest greeting of strange bread. 'Twas but a day like this that came this way. All days with but a nay for a to bend. And now I see, blessed preacher, that thy bray, a volume of hid sermons here did end, and that a little particle would hold enough to groom a shepherd for the fold. May the Lord bless you and take you into his keeping. May he show you his countenance and take pity on you. May he turn his eyes towards you and give you his peace.